What is up, crypto community? How's everyone doing? I am doing great, no complaints. Everything seems to be good. Market cap is going up higher. Yeah, so it's looking pretty decent. I was reading a couple of articles like not too long ago where, a lot of the crypto community and a lot of the bulls within the crypto community, they do believe that there's going to be another run coming up very soon. You tend to see a lot of rises within, the news that kind of fluctuates everyone's emotions the way that they do. Considering, the high rises and things like that were happening back in December, there's a bunch of mixed emotions amongst individuals that were holding since then. So it's okay, these are long-term holds, so I wouldn't really be concerned about it. Without speculating or anything like that. I tend to kind of go off of what I see and what I read on the news or things like that. There's really no definitive way to say that hey, what's going to be here is going to be there. The only thing that you can do is kind of see a general rise in the use cases within crypto itself, and kind of come to an educated guess on what it is and what it isn't. Or what it is going to be or what it's not going to be. So, with that being said, holding tight, cool. I wouldn't sweat it. A lot of you guys are, you don't really do this for a living. You guys are mostly, 9-to-5ers or anything of the sort. And I said, hey, you know what? I'll put some, here and let's see how it turns out. So, you've seen yourself completely get a massive fortune and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. But since you did see those rises, you know what it's capable of doing. So speaking of rises, check out Ontology. Now remember when back in San Francisco, these guys were what, like $1.50 at that time? Heck no, actually they were lower than that because they were going through the ICO at that time. So now if you look at them, heck, these guys are doing absolutely fantastic. The last I checked them, it was $7.99. Right now on 4/29 it's $7.85. That's a close to 800% increase, 700% increase. Not too bad, not too shabby. And it's a steady increase. It's not up down, very very erratic. It's been kind of consistently kind of going up. So I see these guys catching on. They have a pretty decent project. If you get a chance, definitely check them out. What else is happening? Recently there was a $99 million transfer of Litecoin for a cost of 40 cents, 99 cents. I saw a couple of articles. One said 40 cents, the other one said 99 cents. So, it's either or, it's still not too shabby. That's, a massive amount of Litecoin to be transferring. So, what happens is, when you have these large transactions, right, and of course, there's multiple ways to exchange your cryptocurrency and things like that. Either, you're trading it for, fiat, or if you're trading it for other crypto, or if you're trading it for whatever purpose. There's different methodologies, there's different methods to this madness. Now, this specific transaction, to avoid, kind of dipping the entire market, went through, for 40.99 cents, and didn't really affect the market much. So it kind of makes you kind of question, well, how is it really conducted? Peer-to-peer, direct. Do you have some sort of an individual escrow service, which is typically just some individual sitting on the back end that says, okay, send me your Litecoin. They send them their Litecoin. Dude says, send me whatever, XYZ Bitcoin for the transaction. They send him the Bitcoin. And then he just does a cross swap, sends the Bitcoin to, the Litecoin holder, and the Litecoin to the Bitcoin holder, collects his commission, and that's really about it. Playing the middleman, that's all that is, as far as, moving forward, I haven't really quite seen too many platforms that utilize some sort of a centralized methodology within a decentralized environment for large transactions like that. Moving forward, I think that would be pretty cool if, somebody would kind of how should I word it? If somebody should reinvent that, or recreate it. Technically, what it would be like, or anything of the sort. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see that sometime in the future. You see like a lot of these, conversion, like, softwares and, applications that are out there. For example, Changely. And that's typically you send them your Litecoin, you define your Bitcoin address or whatever you want to convert it for, and then boom, it gets shot over there. Now, typically when you see, like these larger applications like that, you want to kind of tend to focus on some of the coins that are on there, and it'll give you a general idea what everyone's kind of focusing on. Because, as crypto was starting, and, that was starting to becoming a little bit more and more prevalent, that was also a major conversion tool, really. For individuals that didn't want to just sit behind, an exchange all day long, trading a little bit of this, a little bit of that, kind of just shaving the cheese a little bit. So it kind of like, prevented that a little bit, direct shot, over to, your Coinbase account, and then boom, that's it. But anyhow, moving forward, Zosting.com. Okay, I did go ahead and publish and review all of those other articles, approximately like 4 of them. They're not complete yet. There's still a bunch more that need to get updated. Girl's really on fire, which is awesome. So yeah, I will be updating those. So feel free to take a look at the blog, and some of the articles that I've written over there, or my content writers written over there. Some of the previous ones I wrote personally myself, but moving forward, allows me to kind of focus on some of the things, moving forward, really. And specifically this ERC20 token, which I still haven't gotten any investors for. Which, I'm starting to get all of these followers, and I don't know if they're really following me just to follow me, or kind of like people watching, or what. But I'm starting to get some support, which is kind of cool, but really no investors. Not yet, anyway. But again, like I said, it was it was a technical experience, which just kind of goes unquestioned. Will it prevent me from moving forward and, building it at my own pace? Not at all. I did want to kind of release this a little bit sooner, but hey, maybe that's just not what the wise man above has for me, or in store for me. So it's okay. Like I said, the experience itself kind of goes unquestioned, it goes unmatched. It's like, hey, what do you know about data centers? Well, there's one right there. What do you know about, web hosting and web host? Built one right there. What do you know about ERC20 tokens? That's an ERC20 crowd sale right there. Verified on an open ledger. So like I said, the experience itself kind of goes unquestioned. And I'm looking at like a lot of like, the execution plans for, a lot of these ICOs, and I kind of did it a little half-assed, like backwards. I did go ahead and release the ICO first without releasing the white paper or even creating the website for it. The website itself, it's really no more than a WordPress website, which is really hosted on environments just as these, with, either a custom created design or a templated design, which is then recustomized, changing the color schemes and things like that, and then implementing everything. I think we discussed this a while ago. So, that's why I kind of, said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and release the ICO first. Plus, of course, community was kind of anxious to see if I could really do it or not, and to be quite honest, so was I. But, hey, it's all good. Like I said, I do have the option of extending the dates and things like that, for the phase 2 and phase 3 if need being. If, white paper and everything like that is what like the community is requesting first. And even then, hey, we don't know where it's going to go. I have seen a bunch of other comparables out there, but, I haven't really seen much movement, within like their social media channels and things like that. So I'm not really sure, if the team is still around or if they're not around or whatnot, the summary document that I did release, I do have a picture of me on there. Of course, there are other team members. There's a total of approximately like 50 to 60 support members. Keep in mind, like this service is contracted, from overseas. They're not anybody internally. These guys are from India, and they kind of manage all the day-to-day support and things like that. Only time I really get involved is when they have a question for anybody that's in management. So it kind of puts me more along the lines of the product owner or the senior product owner role within the organization itself. And then the call center, of course, which is in Arizona, the web hosting servers, which are in Quebec, Canada, the VPSs and like the dedicated servers, which are really, can be really all over the world depending on where you're, tuning in from. You need one in India, we got some there. You need some dedicated servers in the United Kingdom, we have some there. Japan, we got them there. So we really do have access to all of this, web servers, which can just host a bunch of data, which is kind of cool, to have access to that. So it kind of eliminates the really need for like the whole data center. Considering, if you really consider the cost of each, web server, ranging from anywhere from $8,000 to $13,000 a piece. Then you got to configure it, load all the operating system, and then load all the other softwares that are required to operate it. Connect it with cPanel or whatever Ples that you might be using, and then market that out to the customer, and then you utilize that method, or just kind of utilize, say, hey, I'll go ahead and lease a server for XYZ, and then I'll utilize that as my shared server. Okay, I'm going to get me a cloud server here. And then, I will sell XYZ amount of space within that cloud server, or VPS, I'll get a dedicated server, virtualize that machine, and then I have a bunch of VPS, servers on there with, SSH, root access, etc. So that's kind of gives you like a general overview of, how like these things kind of like operate. Unless you're really like one of those giants, and then, you have everything internal, then, hey, again, after a while, everything really kind of becomes an asset of the organization, like I said. So, and they've been around for a while. They were there at the right time, all that other stuff. Moving forward, this is a digital crypto world. So, like I said, it is an exoskeleton, within it, and I've noticed that when I Google it, I'm actually starting to see the ERC-20 contract on like Google and stuff too, which is like, wow, that's boom, index within like a day or two, like, really quick. So which is really, really awesome, kind of like puts everything into perspective on how all of this technology stuff works, and it's just like, wow, it's driving me insane. And it's like the almighty question of, hey, it works, why? Or, hey, it doesn't work, why? Then you refresh the screen, and then poof, it just starts working again. So it's just the way that technology operates. But yeah, moving forward, for all your web hosting needs and all the other stuff, definitely check out Zosting.com. We are always around 24/7 phone or email support. And definitely check out some of the articles that are there, some pretty decent reads. Even from SSH, root access perspective to, some of the tools that can be utilized for it and whatnot. I tend not to like kind of go over a high level and like a lot of these things, I dig a lot deeper into it. So, I simply just don't talk about it. I like to get elbow deep and kind of like, dabble into the technology a bit. Kind of twist it and turn it and do all that other kind of cool stuff to see, what you can do with it. So that's where I am. And of course, unless, the ICO does well, and I don't, and I have some movement in it, I very well can't list it into an exchange, nor can I list it into CoinMarketCap, which, I don't deny my, I don't deny my skill set that, that would be possible, but I do, it is my first ICO, I just worry that, would it even get to that point? So, only the future will tell, need it or not need it is here. So, that's the only thing I can say to you. All right, take it easy. Like I said, check us out, Zosting.com. Give us a phone call for if you have any questions, or drop us an email if you have any questions. Till the next one, take it easy, guys.